Hey, you're watching Swapmoto Live, presented by Ogio. My name's Donn Maeda. I'm the editor of Transworld Motocross magazine. I'm joined here in the studio today by Jason Anderson, the 2018 Monster Energy Supercross Champion. So the word champion means a lot. Has it sunk in yet that you're the title winner?
Yeah, it's been a little bit since a couple weeks or so, but winning the whole thing is cool. It's just tough because we have to get right back at it, and doing the outdoor series so close is tough, but it's still awesome. I'm able to run the #1 plate next year, and I think there's a lot of cool things that are still to be experienced, with being the champion, and I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. You mentioned #1 plate, so you're required now to run the #1 plate next year, but permanent numbers, 21 is your digits. How attached are you to that? And then will you take the opportunity to choose a single digit?
I think I've pretty much been branded 21 for the past 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna stick with 21 once for my career number. I'm not gonna do a single digit, and as far as running the #1, I'm pumped on running the #1. I think that's probably gonna be one of the cooler parts. And I guess back when I was younger, you watch MC, and MC always ran the #1.
Yeah.
I think it was really till RC, he was really the one who ran the #4, and then stuff like that. But I'm excited to run the #1. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of RC, you had that orange gear superstition. Remember that one year? All he wore was orange, and every picture looked lame. Superstition.
Yeah.
We've got a little superstition history here. We actually we offered Jason the cover of the issue immediately after he took the points lead at San Diego, I believe.
Yeah. Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, so I called him up, and he's all, yeah, cool, I'll get gear. And he seemed all into it. Called me back 2 days later. Oh, sorry, dude. CeeLo says no. His mechanic was superstitious about it.
Yeah.
Said that we would jinx his championship. So we waited.
It worked out.
Series, and it worked out.
Yeah. But, CeeLo, he's definitely kind of the boss. He's my guy whenever it comes down to it, and he's definitely the most superstitious guy that I have ever met. So he, whenever it comes to stuff like that or anything like that, sometimes he gets weird. But you know what? I got to keep that guy happy because he's the one with me on the line, giving me, words of wisdom or whatever he does, and he's my guy, but he's the most superstitious mechanic out there, probably.
Yeah. Well, what other type of things does he have?
Well, he didn't cut his beard the whole season. He thought that was a deal. I'm trying to think. There was one time where we had a different bar pad. It was a different color.
Oh, yeah, they want
the pro taper. Yeah, it was a red one because I have the red plate.
Yeah.
And he took that off right away. He just has some things, just it can be anything. He just wants to keep it all the same.
Ritual.
Yeah, and even sometimes with gear or whatever, he will honestly be hey, ask the Alpine Star guys to different sets of gear or whatever, because I know he really thinks about that stuff all the time.
Nice. How about yourself? Do you have any motocross rituals, or are you left boot guy?
I don't really, honestly, I don't have that many rituals or superstitions. I would say CeeLo probably brings a couple onto me that I think about sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I feel I'm pretty mellow. I don't really overthink that type of stuff too much.
Just the untucked shirt thing.
Yeah, that's kind of just my style, though.
Yeah,
at this
you've
point.
had that. My oldest memory of you is with your shirt.
Oh yeah, I've never really tucked it in. I used to not even tuck my whole jersey in at one point, but so I don't tuck the jersey in, but it's kind of my style. If I tucked it in right now, I'd probably look so nerdy, and it just wouldn't look right, And I've raced dirt bikes and raced pro for this long that I can't really switch it up like that.
Mm-hmm. Man, like I said, our first memory of you is first time I saw you were on a KTM.
Mm-hmm.
You're on Orange Brigade. Then you got on the Cowie for a little while.
Yeah.
But the whole time you had the Volcom helmet.
Yeah.
So you stood out to me because of that. I always thought it was cool that you had that thing that no one else could have.
Yes. The Volcom helmet, back in my amateur days and stuff like that, that was a huge thing. Because I remember when the helmet designs, they were just kind of wild and just crazy, but cool, at the time. And it was something that no one else had. So it's just it was cool and unique for me to have, and it was kind of a bummer to like let that go, you know, those paint jobs and stuff like that, because it was such a cool company. And you know, I had Troy Powell that would always we'd always be cooking up some cool stuff. And but you know, at the end of the day, you turn pro and you kind of get a little bit of the corporate side and stuff like that. But you know, that was cool. Those Vulcan days were definitely some of the.
Do you still have them on your wall?
Oh, I have every single helmet. Yeah, I do. I have them at home, and they're lined up right next to each other. It's almost just like it's like my house is basically like trophies. Like there's no like art or anything on the wall. And I'd say like the Vulcan helmet, that's my little piece of art in the house, you know.
Nice. So do you remember Troy Powell ever calling you and saying, "Yo, dude, you got to call Maeda"?
Yeah. I remember you always bring this up, but yeah, I remember him saying something like, he was like, yeah, you cleaned out like the Transworld guy or whatever. And I was a punk back then for sure. I'm not saying like, but yeah, like he told me, he's like, dude, you should call him. And I remember being like, when I was younger, I was like, well, if I do good enough, they're still gonna have to put me in the magazine, you know? So, and yeah, Troy was like, dude, stop being like a jerk. He's like, call him. So yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, yeah, that day I think there was four of my editors there. We were on like an employee morale day milestone, and you cleaned all four of us out. But yeah, I think I saw you at the World Mini after that, and we did a little interview, and it was all good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, on the track sometimes I can get a little crazy, but off the track, I am so tunnel vision. But when I'm off the track, I'm mellow. You know, like I don't feel like I'm like. And honestly, on the track this year, I've been a lot better, you know, so I'm trying to chill out a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the new chill in control Jason Anderson.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Marvin Muscan here. Liat is giving away one leg brace every week during 2018. For your chance to win, send your best thrill moment, and for more details, check out Liat on social media.
Since 1973, FMF has been about getting more out of riding motorcycles. More power, more wins, more fun. Innovation and American craftsmanship makes FMF today's leader in performance. FMF, feel the power.
Welcome back. You're watching Swapmoto Live, presented by Ogio. Jason and I were just talking about, you know, the calmer, cooler guy. You know, your riding style in this year's Supercross series I thought it was markedly different. You rode with control, with precision, and deliberation, I think.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious thing that you tried to do this year?
Yeah, I feel like in the past, I feel like I've made decisions that have been kind of, you know, a little bit not the smartest move sometimes. And I feel like to win a championship, you have to, you know, make moves and do everything somewhat calculated and keep yourself out of trouble. You know, it's you got to make it happen, and you got to turn your worst nights to your best nights. Whether it's a first turn crash and you have to come back from it, you're passing a bunch of guys, and you got to make those passes smart. You know, so I feel like that was something that I was very conscious about. You know, ending last Supercross season, and I was like, I got to be really good, you know, in some of those areas to where I would cost myself a lot of points, you know. So that's what my plan was, and I feel like I executed it pretty well.
You know which win of the season stands out in my mind is we're in Oakland, and Kenny was leading, had a big lead.
Yeah.
You got in a second, and you just chopped away at it and took him down and got the win. I mean, that's like Jason Anderson, the Supercross champion, who's in killer shape. Yeah. Charging to the end.
Yeah, it was. Oakland was probably one of the best races of my career, especially that battle with Kenny all the way to the last lap. I mean, we hit the white flag over the finish line side by side. Yeah. You know, it was crazy, and it was super cool. And at the end of the day, you know, that's like the type of rides you have to have. But I feel like the bummer part for the whole Supercross Championship is I had, you know, such a big lead right away. You know, and I was like, I was going into like almost protection mode. You know, like 8 races in, so I felt like I really, you know, wanted to battle some of those races and get some wins. But then at the same time, you're like, you want to be a hero and win races, but then if you crash, you don't want people to be like, man, what an idiot, you know. So that was kind of the tough part, but those early battles were awesome, and you know, I'm looking forward to more of those in next years to come.
Yeah, is it hard to race in that preserve mode, like when you're racing and you're trying as hard as you can, you know, that's all you got. But when you're racing at 90%,
yeah, I mean, it's like, I always tried my best. I'm not saying I didn't try my best, but you'd always try your best, you know, but within a area of comfortability, you know what I'm saying? So whenever... Comfortability? Yeah, being comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
That's standable.
Yeah. So, I feel like there's an area of being comfortable that I had to stay in. And, you know, some of the races I feel like going for the win and stuff like that was maybe a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I was in second or third, so it wasn't really necessary, you know? Yeah. And I think that kind of makes you a little bit less sharp sometimes, but at the end of the day, you're racing for points and trying to get that championship. So it's tough. It's tough to turn that killer switch off and you know, go into, you know, trying to think out your moves and stuff like that.
We're not on broadcast television, so what choice 4-letter words came out of your head as you pulled in with your broken wheel at Seattle or Salt Lake?
I remember whenever they came in, or I came out there and I put the bike on the stand, and I remember the only 2 words I said was fucking hurry. That's all I said, and I was just like, and I was just watching it, and I knew like they were cussing and stuff like that, and I knew I was just sitting there, and I was, if I say anything, it's not gonna make them do it any faster, but I'm just like panicking. And then like I saw Dean came in, and I was like, hey man, help me out, just stay here. And I was like, that was the other thing I said too, but you know, it was crazy. But I remember when I came in, and I was just, the first thing I said, I screamed, I was just like, fucking hurry, you know. But it was crazy how it went down, but you know, we ended up pulling it off.
Okay, so leaving Salt Lake, the next 5 days, was it deep, dark funk?
I mean, I was trying to be as chill as possible, but man, I was having a hard time getting some sleep. I was thinking about it the whole time. And then to top it off, you know, I go into the race weekend and, you know, wake up the morning before the race and I'm sick, you know, so it was a horrible Saturday after Salt Lake to the championship ender, you know. It was just like, it's like, man, you build up this, I had 35 points going into Salt Lake, and it's just, you think like, oh, it's going to be mellow, you know, just get like top 10, couple top 10.
It up there, right?
Yeah, all I had to do was get 5th.
Yeah.
You know, and it went into like probably the worst. I don't wish that feeling for that week upon my worst enemies. So, but at the same time, I feel like I have that type of pressure, and I went through it, and I know what to expect if that situation ever arises again, you know.
So at Salt Lake, you're pulling back into the pits. Do you see the Alpine Star guys going, oh, tucking away the championship number t-shirts?
Dude, all I can think of every time is I'm like, all these like t-shirts are made, everything's made, and I'm like, if you don't win the championship, I mean, just torch them. Like, I'm just like, I don't even know, you don't even know what to think, because you know, like, all of them are made even like from Europe, like the head guys from Husqvarna fly in, for the championship and stuff like that. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of weird pressure from every angle. Mm-hmm. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got it done. Yeah. So we got to wear those T-shirts and jerseys and stuff. So that was cool.
So how many days after Vegas did you slip into a blur? Can you remember the days right after Vegas, or was it too much celebration?
Well, after I stayed in Vegas till like Monday night, so I raced Saturday. Went out Saturday night. I had to go to the hospital because I had to get a couple. I was dehydrated. Went to the party. I actually did sleep a little bit that night, and then pool party. Went out, and then pool party a little bit on Monday, and then ended up getting in the van and sleeping on the way home. So, and then the next week I was just like hungover, and I was like, I haven't ridden any outdoors. Yeah. So I'm like, I still gotta start riding. I was able to ride 3 days. I think I rode maybe 5 days before Hangtown of outdoors. So it was crazy, but I got one of the jobs done. I still got to get the other one done. Yeah,
that's true. Outdoors, I think you commented to me before that like outdoors is just so gritty and dirty. Mm-hmm. You got to dig deep and be tough. Yeah. You said that you have to learn to be tough like that. Right?
Yeah.
That this year.
Yeah.
So do you look at 18 outdoors as a building year for a title run in 19?
I do. I mean, I feel like I have the skills and everything to be winning races by the end of the year, and building for next year. And if the cards fall in place and other people make mistakes, I could easily win the championship too. But my goal is I've never won an outdoor race, so I want to win outdoor races, and I really want to be on the Nations team. So those are my two goals. I want to win races, be on the Nations team, and be healthy and ready to go for next year's Supercross. And for me, a dream would be to do a 2-title year, you know, and that's something that not many have accomplished. And I feel like that's my next goal, because you win the Supercross championship, and then you have that feeling you're like, well, what's next? You know, because you accomplished one of the biggest goals of your life. So for me, my next goal is I want a 2-title year, you know, and then after that, we'll see what Jason Anderson's up to, and he might be chilling on the couch. You don't know, you know. So that I really want one of those years, and then we'll see where we go from there.
So if you get on the Nations team this year, are you going to put like rear view mirrors on your bike, watching for flying Japanese riders?
Yeah, I'm just going to jump every jump.
No matter what.
Yeah, I'm going to jump the finish line. That's for sure.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So I guess last question would be, you know, you just won the Supercross title. You're hoping to win an outdoor title.
Yep.
How long do you plan to race, and what do you want to do after that? I mean, obviously we talked about this before. You're not spending a bunch of money on ridiculous stuff. You're saving for your future, and
I would say my goal right now is I have, you know, this year and 3 more years on my contract. That's Supercross and outdoors, and I got to get through that first. You know, that's my first goal. But in my head, you know, I want to race for a long time, but I know I'm not going to be able to do Supercross and outdoors for a long time. And I've been racing 5 years in the 450 class, and I'm only 25. You know, so you got to think. I think Marv right now is 28, 29.
Yeah, I think he's 20.
Yeah, so I still feel like I'll be his age. I'll be younger than him by the time this contract's done. So for me, I want to do, you know, Supercross outdoors through this contract, and then I really hope that I want to keep racing. You know, I want to keep going even longer, but I'm thinking it'll be more like a Supercross only deal, and I'll be hitting like Mammoth in the summer and stuff like that. But I really do want to take, you know, the Supercross part serious for a long time to come.
I see you as a retired guy becoming a total hippie.
Yeah,
getting an adventure bike and riding out with a tent.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm gonna be doing as much as I can, but I'll always be on dirt bikes, you know. So whenever I'm done, I feel like my biggest deal is I want to keep within my company, you know, within Husqvarna, and hopefully be like a test rider or helping out the team or racing the 125 2-stroke challenge. I'll do anything to, you know, stay relevant and still enjoy what I do, you know, I've been, you know, lucky enough to be in an industry that, you know, you can keep a job for a long time. So, and have fun. You know, like being a test rider ain't that bad of a deal. It's great. It'd be cool to call that a job. Yeah. So that's what my goal is. You know, I want to make it to 30, 31. So I feel like I got 7 more years in me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Probably won't be tucking your jersey in then either. So.
Oh heck no! It'd probably be worse. Probably full on tuck.
Thank you for watching. Thanks to Jason Anderson for taking time out of his busy schedule to join us. If you liked what you've seen, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more of these shows. Follow us on Facebook, bookmark transworldmx.com, and definitely follow El Hombre 21 on Instagram. Good stuff. Thanks for watching.